Hello everyone, my name is Rocío Osborne and I would like to thank you all for being here with us today to celebrate such an important date as the 130th anniversary of Carlos I. As you could have imagined, I'm part of the family, I'm sixth generation, and since I joined the company and even before, I have felt this passion for brandy, and I'm very proud to share with you today the legacy that in my family has passed through generation after generation. Today we are going to celebrate the 130th anniversary, not only with a very special brandy that we have designed. The bottle is beautiful and the brandy inside is something that is unique and irreplaceable. We have here Ignacio Lozano. He's our master blender and he's been working with Osborne for 30 years and crafting beautiful spirits for us. So thank you, Ignacio, for being here today and to join us.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be with you today.
So Ignacio, tell us a little bit more about how brandy is made, and especially here in the sherry area, because today we are in el Puerto de Santa María, Cádiz, in the wineries that is the birthplace of Osborne. In here, in this bodega, we have sherry wines and brandies that are aged in sherry casks. So tell us a little bit more about the brandy making and you know, the distillation.
Well, first, we must take in mind that brandy comes from the wine. Brandy is a wine distillate, and we have our own distillery, which is located in Tomelloso, in the center of Spain, and there we distill all the wine that we choose. We select for the production of our brandies. There we produce several eau de vie, which one of them is called Hollanda, that we produce in a pot still process, which is called alambique, and which is the raw material from the brandy Carlos I, for example. That
is very artisanal. I've seen it, and it's a very artisanal process. And here in this bodega, we are surrounded by casks. We call these not barrels, but casks, and these are 500, 600 liter casks, American oak, that have been aging previously sherry wines. This is very, very important for the Brandy de Jerez, because these sherry wines are gonna give a big impact on the flavor of Carlos I. The flavors, the notes, the aromas are gonna be given from the sherry to the brandy. So Ignacio, I think it's very important that you can show us a little bit about these wines that are gonna be part of this special process for making Carlos I.
Okay, why not? We can taste one of them.
And you can also do the Venecia, that it's a very artistic way of pouring the wine.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. The aromas are beautiful. Very rich, very complex.
Sure.
These wines are wines that are more than 30 years old, so are authentic jewels that later on are gonna give lots of influence to the brandy. Yeah. So what we have here?
Well, here you can notice this. We are talking about a wine with this more than 30 years of aging that you have said before. Here we can notice all the almond, the dry fruits, the old wood. We always must look for this kind of wood. We are not talking about the young wood. Take in mind that this barrel has minimum 50, 60 years old.
Right.
So for us, it's very important, the time. We are not thinking always in the less years, even more years of aging.
And how many years do these barrels age sherry before we use them for brandy?
Well, we try to age between 25, 30 years before with aging sherry wine, and later we use this barrel to age the brandies.
Okay, because this time, if you see the stave of the cask, you can see the imprinting of the sherry in the wood. It's quite deep compared to a very young cask that maybe have been aging sherry for 2-3 years. Because I've been seeing lately a lot of people talking about sherry cask.
Well, yes, in the last year, perhaps in the last 20 years, all the luxurious brands of spirits are using sherry cask to produce a special edition or something similar, and they are always looking for sherry barrels.
We are very lucky because we have
Yes.
this beautiful and amazing cask that people pay millions of euros
Yes.
to be able to age the rum or whiskey in this cask. So let's see a little bit about the wine. I can definitely recall the brandy notes from the sherry.
Yes, and later when we will taste the brandy, you will be able to notice some of this flavor there.
And not only the sherry cask, but also the aging system. You probably already know that it's a very special aging system.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this aging system, Ignacio.
Well, we here in the sherry area, we use the dynamic aging process we call solera and criaderas. This is the aging process that we apply to the sherry wine and the sherry brandy, and the Brandy de Jerez. It's a dynamic process, which is the opposite of the static process that where normally is used around the world to age spirits and wines. What I mean that is always the liquid is moving inside the barrels. Why? Because when we are going to bottle
Carlos I,
Carlos I, for example, we have to take out a little volume of Carlos I from each barrels. Right? We make a blend and we bottle that. And how we refill the barrels? We refill the barrels with the next floor, the next step of barrels. I must say that the oldest step is called solera, and the first step is called first criadera, and the second is second criadera, and probably, why not, a third criadera in other cases. So we refill every little amount of liquid that we take out from these barrels with the first criadera, and how we refill with the first criadera, with the second criadera. So at the end, we are moving all the liquid. This operation we normally do 2 or 3 times per year. And it's very important. Why? Because one of the key points is that in every movement that when you move the liquid, you oxygenate the liquid. It is very important to promote the oxidation reactions in the brandy in order to age and to get all the flavors.
To achieve these aging flavors and aging aromas,
even taking
right?
taking the flavors from the oak, the American oak.
That's right. So I think it's time for us to get a little bit of this Carlos I 130th anniversary that it's so special. I'm really looking forward. So let's go to the other place where we have the tasting area. Please, Ignacio.
Let's go.
And please follow us. We are going to taste. I love the smell of the winery. In these aisles, it's like going back to my childhood. It's really amazing.
Yes, and it's, I like the silence. When I busy in the office working with a lot of meetings and so I'm very hurry, you can go here to have a walk.
It's like a cathedral.
In the silence, and it's very peaceful.
Very special.
Yes.
So Ignacio, you are very lucky to have this nearby. I wish I had this in Madrid. I don't have such a place to relax between meetings.
Yes. So let's start with the testing if you want.
Well, I'm excited, so sure. I can see that some of you have already sent us some comments and some questions. So just as a reminder, you have at the bottom of your screen a place where you can send us your questions, comments, and after the tasting, we will answer them. We are here in El Puerto de Santa María, a unique place like no other, using a sherry cask. That is a very special and key point for the elaboration of Carlos I, and also the aging system that is very, very different to any other in the world, the solera and criadera system. And all this important elaboration process take us to Carlos I 130th anniversary. So Ignacio, I know that you are very humble. So, and I also know that the work that is behind the elaboration of this special product that is very limited and is unrepeatable. So there is very, very small quantity that we have. But tell us a little bit more about how you made this special brandy, and that the people that is joining us today are going to be able to taste later, because we send them a special kit where you have the brandy, and you can pour the brandy for joining Ignacio for the tasting. But tell us first a little bit more about the elaboration process.
Well, when we decided to launch this kind of product, the first idea was obviously to focus in the old Soleras barrels that we have since the beginning of the foundation of Carlos I.
130 years ago.
Yes. So fortunately, we have several barrels of this product, and I must say that I enjoy a lot, because it was a funny job, because
I can imagine.
Yes, we have to taste every barrel, every cask, taking samples, tasting, and comparing. Why? Because we were looking for a very special flavor, very, very exclusive flavor that is obviously close to Carlos I style, obviously, but very special, very flavor. Plus, we have the advantage that we have a very old Hollandas aging in barrels, and very, very old barrels. These Hollandas are between 20 and 40 years of aging. And we can choose little amounts of every Hollandas, and we were testing every one and trying to blend with these two barrels of Carlos I, which was and the result at the end, we find a special blend with a little amount of very old Hollandas, and it was a very nice product. One of the characteristics of this brandy is the alcohol strength. It's 45% with this. You can see, okay, it had a bit higher talking about Brandy de Jerez, but the question is, this is the blend, and this is the alcohol strength that we are going to put in the bottle.
And after this time that I can see that you enjoyed a lot,
Yes.
We have 1,665 bottles. Well, 64, because I'm very lucky to have one at home. I'm sure you have one too.
Me too.
Okay, so 1,663. So we have this little amount, but we are, I think we are focusing with this product in one of our most important markets, as is Germany. So half of the total production for Carlos I 130th anniversary is going to go for the international markets, and most of it is going to be for the German market. So you are going to be able to enjoy this fantastic product that Ignacio crafted in a very artisanal way, with lots of time and care. And we are just about to enjoy it, and I'm very excited. So please, Ignacio, if you just pour a little bit of this 130th anniversary, we can start the tasting.
Okay. Here you are.
I'm going to try to be patient, because I'm very excited. So.
Yes. Well, here you are. Obviously, look at the color of this brandy. This brandy is dark mahogany. Why? Because perhaps it's a bit darker than the normal color that you find.
It's a little bit darker.
In this kind of product. Why? Because it's due to the concentration. It's due to the age that this brandy has. Because all the barrels belongs to a very, very old Solera, which have been extracting from the wood a lot of years. So this is and obviously a lot of sherry, very old sherry wine, which is inside the barrel, inside the wood.
And the tears, I can see that the tears are very long and thick.
Yes, yes. This is the way that you can confirm that the age of this brandy. When you look at the tears in the
they go down very slowly, very
Yes.
thick. You can see that it's.
This is the proof that this brandy is very, 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 very old.
So in case you need a proof, there is the proof.
So, and when you smelled it, remember we are tasting a product with the alcohol strength 45%, but when you smell it, you don't notice
No.
this alcohol.
It's very elegant and very
it's
round.
very elegant, it's very round, why? Because this is the reason. We have blended a very old products where are completely combined with all the components with the wood, even here. You may notice that the old wood, the noble wood that we used to say, American oak, obviously, but without notes of young wood. Remember that we are talking about a barrel with this minimum 50, 60 years old. Spicy, you're able to notice the spicy, even the citric notes. It's funny, but it's not easy to find the citric notes in a brandy, in the Brandy de Jerez.
Kind of refreshing because of the citric notes.
Yes, but it's
very complex. The layers of aromas that you can find in this brandy, it's like endless. It's going out so many different aromas.
And when we taste it, we notice notes of ginger.
I can feel it in the tip of my tongue.
Lavender.
Lavender honey, right?
Lavender honey.
I can feel also this nutmeg.
Yes, and a touch of licorice at the end.
And I can see also, when you were talking before about the wood, I can see this like sandalwood on the palate. It's a little bit exotic, actually.
Yes, it's a mixture of exotic flavors. This is very complex and very strange.
And,
talking about
so velvety on the palate, and you can see the glycerin on the palate, and it's very, very velvety.
You notice the wood in your teeth. This is the real. This is, as I used to say, this is the real age of the brandy. When you notice the old wood, the noble wood.
Thank you, Ignacio, for an amazing tasting and a beautiful brandy. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. And of course, an anniversary like this, we wanted to celebrate it also in many different ways, because 130 years, you don't turn up 130 years every day, right? So we have launched a special visit here in El Puerto for some of you that might be able to come and visit, to enter and discover the world of brandy for all these brandy lovers, and you will be able to taste EDB at different strengths and from different elaboration process. Also, very old rare sherries directly from the cask. This is very special from the Osborne collection, more than 30-year-old wine, and you will notice all this sherry complexity that is also in this brandy. And of course, you will get to meet the Carlos I family, that in the last years, Ignacio has been very busy crafting very, very premium brandies that are limited editions and amazing spirits for spirit lovers that will enjoy very much. So I invite you to come to visit us and discover Carlos I world. And during this time, you are gonna watch a small film where you will discover a little bit more about Carlos I 130th anniversary, and we will get together all your questions and comments to answer them. So Ignacio, you join me in the sofa. We will be with you in a moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
It takes time to create something remarkable. Triumph is the result of unceasing endeavor. Only with the passing of time, a king becomes a conqueror, and a spirited stallion, a trusty steed. Born in butts steeped in history and aged to perfection. It is with this patience that a craftsman becomes a master, signing his name to a blend that unites knowledge and heritage. All to create a brandy that conquers the passage of time. the legacy of 130 years of history. Carlos I, the spirit of conquest.
Well, I hope you enjoy the film. And before we get to answer your questions, I'm very happy to share with you a fantastic news. That is that Carlos I 130th anniversary just won the Brandy Trophy at the Spirit Challenge. That is a very prestigious international competition, and we are very proud to share with you this fantastic news. Actually, we got the trophy yesterday, so I'm very, very proud to have it here today. Okay, so let's go to answer your questions. I'm sure that you have many comments about this fantastic tasting that Ignacio have done with us. So let's see the first one. We have here, is Carlos' first 130th anniversary a good pairing with desserts? There is many different pairing options and also dessert, but cheeses as well, like Parmesan cheese or Comté cheese or aged Manchego cheese. Also some dry nuts like hazelnuts or almonds, and also as well with dark chocolate with 85% cocoa or 90% cocoa. So I think it's a great brandy to pair with many different options for you to enjoy. Here we have, does Osborne sell their sherry cask? Well, Ignacio, what do you think?
No.
No.
No, definitely no.
Definitely not. These casks are such a treasure for the family, spending so many years aging the sherry that later on we are going to use them for aging Carlos I and our other brandies. That it's something that we don't sell it, and for us it's like a big asset that we have to craft the best spirits. So, unluckily, no. Okay, so thank you so much for showing us our cellar. So I'm happy that you enjoyed the virtual tour and the experience. Another question here is, they're asking us, how much does this brandy cost? So the price is 250 euros, okay? And then we have more questions coming through. What kind of wines age in the sherry casks used for Carlos I? I'm sure, Ignacio, this is one that you will answer.
No, the bottles that we use to age Carlos I comes all of them from the Oloroso and Amontillado sherry wines.
Okay, so Oloroso and Amontillado sherry wines are the casks that we use for Carlos. Another question is, what kind of consumer drinks brandy? This is a very interesting question because it's changing a little bit. In the past, our consumers were mainly male and about 45-year-old. In the last years, we see that the age is decreasing. We are getting younger consumers into the category and also more females. And how we achieve this? It's very easily. We are also working a lot with the brandy, with Carlos, to mix it as in cocktails, also in different consumption moments. And going also to these bars that are very trendy, and younger people are going to these bars, and they can get closer to the brandy. Again, also we have our Colegio del Brandy, that it's an event that we do every year, and it helps us to train bartenders from different countries, especially Germany, that later on they will recommend or make cocktails with Carlos I and other of our brandies. So this is some of the different actions that we are doing to get to younger consumers. Well, let's see another question. When will be the visit of the winery and the special tasting of Carlos I run until? So we have developed this special visit for Carlos I, and it will be available for 1 year more, but of course, due to the traveling situations, if we need to expand it for 1 or 2 years, we can do it, and it's once a month. And of course, you have to book it beforehand because it's not the regular visit or the standard visit that you can enjoy in our winery. But it's going to be amazing, and I hope you will be able to enjoy it. Okay. So what is the main difference between brandy and cognac? This is a very question that is very interesting, Ignacio.
Well, the difference between cognac is a denomination of origin, a French denomination of origin, which is related with this region of France. So only the only side in the world that the way they can produce or bottle like cognac is in this the product that we produce it in this area. So brandy is more universal word in order to express what is our wine distillates around the world. Brandy is produced around the world, even in France. There is brandy, but it's not produced in the cognac region. So, but for me, the main difference between cognac and perhaps Brandy de Jerez, talking about this kind of product, is that we have, for me, 3 key points which are different. One of them is the aging system. The aging system here we use a dynamic process, which is the process of the solera criadera that we explained before. This is a dynamic process of continuous blending of liquid instead of a static process, which is where the cognac is aged. Only important point for us is the difference is the use of the barrels. The barrels we use, we use barrels which has been aging sherry wine and later brandy, but minimum talking about wine 25, 30 years, and later have been aging 15, 20 years with brandy. In opposite way, cognac normally use young barrels, no more than 5, 7 years, because they are looking for different flavors.
Also French oak, right? Right, we use American.
Normally French oak.
Okay, so let's go to another question. Is where can I find Carlos' first 130th anniversary in Germany? So it can be purchased in different retails and also online outlets like distillery.com, Ludwig von Kaft, I'm sorry for my German pronunciation, and also in Weinkeil Lehmann. So, well, in some of these, you will be able to find these special products. As I said, we produce very, very little. So if you are lucky enough to get and buy one, do it, because we don't know how much it will last. And Ignacio, could you tell us a bit more about the Holandas you have used to craft such a special brandy?
Yes. Well, I use, here we have in the bodega, we have a collection of very selected Holandas that we produce. Well, Hollanda is a young wine distillate that we produce in our distillery by the potted still system, distilled in alambics, or here we call alquitara, which is the pot stills that we use, and with selected wines, we select the wines and we distill them, and later we send here to the bodega in order to age them in several different barrels or kind of types. We have a collection that we began with this collection, perhaps not me, obviously, 50, 60 years ago, with little volumes, and this is the little treasures that we can use to blend and to mix in order to get product as like Carlos I 130.
I can see that you enjoyed a lot going through these different Holandas
yes.
to craft 130th anniversary.
Yes.
So, what is another question, sorry. What is the best moment situation you would recommend to enjoy a glass of Carlos I 130th anniversary? So we like people to enjoy our brandies, and especially Carlos I 130th anniversary, the way they like, because it's the best way to enjoy something, right? But of course, if you ask me, I will say that I prefer to enjoy it neat, and especially in the afternoon, and maybe with a good fireplace and a book, or good company as well. We have also some more questions coming through. If these were the last remaining casks to make the 130th anniversary, does this mean there will be never a brandy which is older, more precious? So it means that if we have run out of these very, very old Soleras and we don't have more Holandas or brandies old enough to make something that is more special than this brandy.
Well, obviously, we use only 2 barrels of the original, the Solera, original Solera from Carlos I. So we haven't used all the total barrels for this product. Because we produce a little. This is the reason that we produce a little volume of this product. We maintain all the Soleras, and we will be able to produce another products of the similar quality from that. So.
Believe me, Ignacio has lots of treasures hidden in the bodegas.
Yes.
So he will be crafting super special brandy in the next years. I'm sure that I hope you will be able to enjoy it. And we have here some more questions. Is that the price is definitely too low? The price is definitely too low for this piece of art. I agree. If you ask me, I probably will keep all the 1,665 bottles as a jewel, but we also want to make this brandy. We want people to taste this piece of art, as you say. We want the people to get closer to brandy, to be able to enjoy this special jewel that Ignacio has crafted. So definitely the price is quite democratic, and we are happy to be able to do that for consumers to enjoy this brandy. And there is no more questions. I hope you enjoyed this time with us and the virtual tour as much as we did. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us today and for sharing this special moment with us and to celebrate an anniversary as important as the 130th anniversary. So cheers.
Yes.
Let's have a little cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to all of you.
To all of you.
And hopefully we will see very soon some of you visiting us, or maybe us going to Germany and Switzerland and Austria to visit you in the near future. Cheers.